We're back. I just wanted to say thank you again to Soul Food Books, to Clint and Sarah for having us here. Woo! Let's give them a hand. Yeah. And to Aaron and Lily, our baristas extraordinaire. I just wanted to say something about the Redmond poetry scene. There is actually a Redmond poetry scene. It does exist. We even have a poet laureate who unfortunately couldn't be with us today. But, however, be that as it may, there are 2 regular monthly events that happen every month. How many times can I say month? The last Friday of the month, Redmond Association of Spoken Word has a reading series over at the Old Community Center, the old schoolhouse. And this coming Friday, the 26th, we are featuring Bill Yake, who's a marvelous poet from Olympia. He is a retired environmental scientist, among other things. But we heard him read at Raven Chronicles reading, actually, and he's just amazing. So if you're around, if you're in Redmond, come by the old schoolhouse around 7 o'clock on Friday the 26th. Check him out. And we also have an open mic. Feel free to come and listen or sign up and read one of your most brilliant works. And we also have at Soul Food on the 3rd Thursday of every month, Soul Food Poetry Night, and that is curated by Michael Dillon Welch and Tanya McDonald. They have a really nice music scene here as well at Soul Food. So whether you're visiting for the first time or you've been here before, please come back. And I'm going to ask Phoebe Boucher to come up to the stage for a couple announcements. Phoebe?
It's great to be here. I finally made it to Redmond after 20 plus years. never driven over around this way. I just wanted a couple announcements. We have a workshop at our office at Jack Straw in the U District coming up on November 4th. It's called Introduction to the Art of Reviewing. So it's about book reviewing. If anybody's interested, see me. And I have a couple copies of the latest Raven Chronicles for $6 tonight. And if you have any questions about our magazine or Raven Chronicles, just let me know. Thank you.
And now, another word from Coyote.
Another word from Coyote. Wait a minute. Coyote's getting me before I even start. Coyote don't much care for fireworks. Even from a distance, they hurt his ears. It grates against his naturally flighty nature. Pretty, though, from a hill and far away. Sky is a legend of stars, and the trees are a comfort in the veil of night. Coyote knew the chainsaws like fire through the trees. What's left of the forest in his eyes, colors exploding towards the sky. Rain brought the money up from the earth into forests of trees, tall and filled with shadow. And then the rain taught the people that a man could go broke logging or be broken by the mud and trees. Chainsaw and cork boots on borrowed money, sure to buff up and get rich quick for the summer. The rain breathes in and the rain breathes out. The mists and trees stretch to fill the northwest woods with slash and shadow. Strange how the gray lights everything up. Coyote knows the rain has a will of its own. He can wait a generation or two until they go broke and leave, or become part of the forest. He leaves his tracks around, and they fill, drop by drop, with the rain that falls, building the myth on all those secondhand details, stitching the crazy quilt stories together. Loss and flaming risk, the only constants, and those golden eyes. Hold on to the river, he was told, and so he tried. Ended up at the beach all wet and dazed and tired, somehow all unraveled. News travels fast up and down the river, even faster than what might be real or could have happened. In fact, it never could have happened the way the story says it did. That Coyote's such a dog. Even the grandmothers walk young around him, some personal power. Trickster saw shadows caught in time and changes him younger as he grows older. Yes, that's how it is. Sand in his paws, running like time, but theft? Oh no. If you can see Coyote get it, it was no theft. He just found it laying around and not being used. Coyote never thinks it's cheating or that it's wrong or even could be wrong if he wins. If he gets away with it, oh, but he can whine and howl real sorry like. Turkey vultures work over a coyote carcass in a field between worlds. Snyder says, the West is over when nice ladies come to town and make you wash your hands before dinner. Beyond the reach of the law, the West was just filled with lost boys, lost in the West of geological time, fenced in by the Pacific, taking land and fur. Coyote won't eat the poison bait, pisses and shits on the traps, buries them sometimes. He's kind of picky about staying alive. And a whole bunch of things happened back when the people still had dreams and myth time. Bad, awful, outrageous old Coyote. He survived the first phase exploitation of a continent. In fact, he thrived while the wolves had to be managed for survival. And the Indians had their hard-bought reservations managed too. What is it we got to do next as bicultural warriors? Cutting down the trees ends these prayers and the circle is broken and the heartbeat skips a beat, the dream misses, drops a beat. Man and animal, a greedy beast with a heart, the right and proper way to do things? Maybe not Coyote's way. Coyote may not be logical or have a good reason, maybe not even a real purpose, but in the telling and living out there in the wide open, in all its greatness, there's no other critter that wanted to steal his name. So Coyote was set out to change things from the very beginning. And he's always been a sucker for naked women. You know, Coyote may be the father of everyone's. One time, Coyote married a boy he thought was a girl. This was a problem when that time came. And he lost all of his stolen smoke in the deal. Coyote's a great doctor. Death has little power over him, but still, death seems to be permanent most of the time. Coyote makes love to your wife and then asks you how everything's going. Or maybe he'll try some food and then shit till he passes out as a lesson to us. When Coyote blows on the island moves. And these were his powers. Once the ducks were cutting down trees and singing, ducks in the beginning of time, and Coyote couldn't catch these singing logger ducks. Coyote could see everything, but he never saw anything. It's the way with him. Very granola. Very, very granola. Total earth muffin carnivore. Coyote considers the house cat. He admits that he's committed every sin against which he has taken to the pulpit, and you can see it there in his long face, kind of grinning and looking towards satisfied for now, if not sated. That shivering bundle of misery, this could be Coyote in the rain after he lost his wife, kids, house, and scant possessions in a spirited gambling game fueled by his insane lies and ego-driven misrepresentation of reality and most human beings' perception of what might be possible and what might be real. Sometimes reality just doesn't seem possible, but there you are. And Coyote was just going along and trying to make his lodge meeting with the rabbits. Coyote's always concerned with the overall health and well-being of the rabbits. He's just that kind of special critter. A saint he could be if the church ever got that involved. When the food is strange, ugly, and maybe alive, the secret is to pretend that you are French. You know. And a cat scratch in time will not save any. The perverse little bastards bite, scratch, hiss, and piss their own feline schedules, meeting needs far transcendent to human desires. They do not do tricks, but they make a pretty good snack. Having trouble here. I wish there was air conditioning to blame this on. Laura Lee, yes. You pull the flag when you want me to quit. I'm having a good time. Coyote was never young. He was born old, but not too wise. Not running away, oh no. Just have business somewhere else. Other things to do. Coyote finally tumbled to the facts, turned tail, and ran like the wind only can run. Furry arrogance with perked ears and delicate feet in the pungent city jungle, a tangle of back alleys and dead-end streets, that's for him. That's for us. That's for me and all those steady, life-changing jobs. As for Coyote, he whispers past us on the sidewalk, silent as the night moth, ignorant of the concept, immune from the passion for money and work hung now in the new world, blue like a steady star of prayer and a cross. Coyote can just trot on by a good day's work without batting a yellow eye. Coyote just may be unfit for paradise. Turn in a circle, cross yourself, and pray. He comes from a secret place, thinking secret and powerful things in the silence of the moonrise. Tracing his path with the shadows, he moves like the shadow of a cloud, light across the land. And what he started out to do still remains undone. Lean and hard, nearly honest. Just look at that face. Yes, sure, honest, that's old Coyote. Sure that we must secure his dream animal, the clan totems we're born with, the dreams. They find us, measure us, and fit our skins to our bones. By the power of our dreams, we must find and secure for ourselves. Coyote likes to work weddings. No one profits from love but the caterers, and the flatterer speaks, "She is a star among moons." Coyote howls to bring back the moon, the full moon. The tides arrive in time and the herons are happy, the fish flow in. Moonlight falls upon her naked belly and she fills with life. Coyote rolls on his back beneath the full moon, sipping the morning dew, the moonlight's tears, lifting the moonlight gingerly from the water, moon of first fish, moon of black weather. Rainforest, here even the moon is filled with stars and dappled. Coyote caught up in the moon's eclipse, spun around and round, and stared up, round eyes howling, shouting the moon back normal into the sky, a bowl of water crystal offered to the moonlight. Coyote bathes naked in the moonlight, turns 4 times around. The moon is a reflection of what appears to us to be. I guess that makes it almost real. And say, turn around. Born on the heartbeat south side of the reservation, the east side by the Ave, he owns the town. He'd lived every nightmare he'd ever had. Hallucinations, blackouts, and despair, finally beaten by the cat at dominoes. He thought he had true humility and an open mind. And he was proud of it, and that was how it was. Coyote scooches his bony butt down on the curb, glances to the moon, low setting, dawn glowing in the east, fringing a speckled blanket of stars. He surveys acres and acres of alleys, vacant lots, impromptu dumps, empty buildings, hedges gone riot through neglect, and grins. There's a lot of good stuff here for a patient critter. Abandoned and homeless cats, well-fed lap pats, overconfident dogs, poodles mostly, more rats than anybody needs. There must be trash everywhere. Brilliant. Yup, it's time to move into the suburbs. Gonna get a new pair of used sunglasses. He desires to keep that eagle look of designer shades. In a world so strange it blew off his eyebrows, once Coyote was the moon. He was the moon for a time and watched everything and talked of everything he saw. He was a snoop and a tattletale. He just couldn't keep his nose out of everyone else's business. And the people tell that they couldn't stand it either. Always being told what so-and-so was doing, or so-and-so being told what they had done. Nobody had any secrets in the night. So Coyote's lost his job as the moon. But he's still pretty snoopy. And he's still always shouting around about something, a sad and regular howling at the moon. I guess it was a layoff, a reduction in force. Coyote is the first critter ever fired from the moon. Once more. Coyote cruises the avenue, smaller than you could dream him, always, though, larger than the dream in time, and light upon the ground, walks soft. He arrives from the past with his future and his own tangled dreams and yearned desire, yet he brings the fire and sings on in the night, light in his eyes and that always hunger. It's true, she suffered a blasphemous adolescence with a stoic Navajo precision. He crafted a fatal nonchalance. She blanched and turned, offered a stark, bone-white, soft facade, and the new night turned green with sprouting dreams. The hours strain the tide, and like sand, feel how his heart is shaped by her incautious hand. She watches the sky. He watches her eyes, tense until the tide eases, and the light at 32nd Street turns green. Yep. I'll just read you the last two. When you're dead, you might as well follow your own inclinations. He thinks about important things and rabbits. where he might have been and where he thinks he's going, where he lost his sunglasses, that faint past presence of a jogger and conjugating verbs. Nothing there. Quick, looks like much more detail. Glances, but in a smooth arc of intent. He whirl turns like smooth silence and trots on. Fat mice, that's what he wants. Your daughter, or maybe someone's wife from over the hills, upriver, across town. He looks over his shoulder, both ways. Like many things, his life ain't pretty. But just because you're paranoid don't mean something isn't following you. Coyote sniffs the air and sonar signals his ears and sniffs deep and long on the wind, stops short and whirls around, gazes his 1,000-yard stare. His yellow eyes read the possibilities, and he freezes up like a cut stone statue. Coyote's life is pretty complicated. Finding a saddle for the wind? Some days it's not even worth chewing through the restraints, he thinks. In some places, history tugs at your breath, sings sad tears of songs into sand, into seed-clear water, mud, dark rainbow. Yellow jackets are a cloud of intention, like starving foxes, like women at a sale. They will get theirs. And it's best if you're not around and just step away. Each day at some time, the past no longer fits. It's too large. It's too tight, rumpled, unironed, and sometimes uncomfortable. But definitely not who we are, not who he is. Raised on leftovers and rummage, joy without fears, some long heard of through rumor, mystery. Moon gone everywhere, light cast wide through the mist and fog, low walking clouds at 3 a.m. Too early for real darkness, even, and daylight hours away, dreams away. Thank you. Well, I had a very good time. I enjoy reading these things, and I hope you did too.
Thanks again to Soul Food Books. Woohoo! Yeah, thanks to David for contributing reading and being an all-around awesome guy. Woo! And thanks for everyone for coming. There's still food, there's still books, and we're just going to hang out for a while, okay? Old Man Coyote goes to town. He's been here. All right. Thank you, everyone.